What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So a big shout out to Hadi that he did not forget about his fellow countrymen, his fellow Iranian athletes, during that interview from yesterday. Now the man has got nothing to gain from mentioning all these guys, but that was a champion act right there, that he brought that topic up in a conversation that was solely focused on him and how he is gonna win that Olympia title back this year.
Olympia
He's saying that his heart is broken because these athletes that he's given hope to, so many of them in Iran can't come here, and they're amazing athletes. You've seen the champions that the Iranians have been able to create, but can't come here because of visa situations.
Tabani, we our hearts are with you right now, and we would love to see you here, and we know that very soon the situation will be resolved.
And it isn't only Behrooz Tabani who has been denied the US visa. Two of his fellow athletes, Jafar and Mahdi, who were qualified for this year's 212 Olympia, they were also denied the visa. And unfortunately, this is such a sad reality that all these hardworking guys who are putting their blood and sweat into this game, they're suffering due to political reasons between both these countries at the moment. So, as a fan of bodybuilding, I just pray that this recent war and that whole situation that is going on in the Middle East, that doesn't affect Hadi Choopan's visa for the next year. So Behrooz Tabani looks absolutely phenomenal in some of his recent updates. And I am assuming he is going for Romania Pro, which is gonna be happening in the post-Olympia tour. And he should 100% do the whole post-Olympia tour. So just imagine if he was there in this year's Miss Olympia lineup. And technically speaking, whenever Behrooz gets his visa, that is gonna be his Olympia debut. But in reality, he has become such a great bodybuilder over the years, especially in the last couple of years, that people really think that he can shake up the Olympia top 6, and that too in his first try. I mean, some people even think that he would have done that this year as well. So the man is always ripped, and just because the glutes, they matter a lot in today's bodybuilding, so that goes in Behrouz's favor as well. So sitting out of the Olympia for the third year in a row, that I have to say is so unfortunate and so sad for the fans and especially for Behrooz. So hopefully he does both Romania and Prague and shows the world how good he really is. So this year's Classic Physique Miss Olympia will tell us the potential of many athletes out there who have made so many big claims in the recent past, and one of them is Logan Franklin. So it was really surprising to see that Logan can put on another 7 pounds of muscle on that frame before he maxes out after all of these new Classic Physique weight regulations. And that, I have to say, is a whole lot of muscle considering how muscular he already is. So more hamstrings will definitely help him. That will definitely make him a lot more competitive. So this Olympia, that is gonna be a real test of Logan, because this is the first time he is gonna be on that Olympia stage after 2020, the year he made his Olympia debut in Classic. So as per this new update, posted by his coach Patrick Tour, he looks dry and ripped to the bone. And the good thing is that they just started that carbs loading protocol, so they still have got plenty of time to fill out that frame and bring his physique back to life. So the last time when Logan was on the Olympia stage, back in 2020, there was no Ramon or Urs, and that is only mentioning those guys who are gonna be in that potential first call out. Because the thing is, there are so many other great physiques who are gonna be stepping on that Classic Physique Olympia stage in just one more day, and some of them for the very first time. So in case of Logan Franklin, it isn't just about being the most conditioned guy. It isn't about being the most shred guy, but he should be very comparable in terms of his structure as well. And I have to say, it was just so unfortunate that back in 2022, he had to drop out of the Olympia that year, literally hours before the show. He was being coached by Milo Sorsev at that time. So I have to say he looks to be in great spirits right now, and in a great condition as well. And the man intends to surprise a lot of big names when it is time to step on stage. So speaking about Classic Physique, there is some news that I wanna share with you guys. All of these Classic Physique Olympians who had their height measured at the weigh-ins last night. So the good thing was that there will be a record of this in any shows that these guys do in the entire 2025. So in the past, we have seen some instances where we saw this whole controversy with the height difference. So the IFBB took care of that once and for all. So all of these guys are gonna be competing in Classic Physique Olympia tomorrow. They won't have to get their height measured again in the entire 2025. Maybe that Olympia weekend hype that pushed Brian Jones, the former top 5 classic physique Olympian, to give us a physique update after a long time. So how long will we have to wait to see Brian Jones make his men's open debut? So the fans have already been waiting for this to happen for almost 2 years now, as Brian's last competition, that was the Olympia 2021, where he significantly dropped down in placings. So at the moment, we do not even know whether we are gonna see him on a bodybuilding stage again or not. So how incredible was this guy? That can be analyzed from the fact that he came out of nowhere and he placed top 5 at his Olympia debut. But it was written on the wall right there and then that he is too big for classic, but he was too small for the men's open, especially his lower half. So when is gonna Brian step back on the stage? Well, every year since 2022, he has been saying maybe next year. But that's the thing, the men's open, that is undoubtedly the most difficult division, and the amount of food and the amount of gear that is required to be successful in the toughest bodybuilding division. I have to say not everyone is designed to do that. I mean, to push that much food to get bigger, that is really difficult. So the last time Brian revealed his weight, he was 254. And as per those new classic physique weight limits, his cut would be somewhere around 240, as he is a tall guy. So maybe we will see Brian back in classic physique division in the future. Damn, look at those arms on Victor Martinez. Those triceps are feathered and the man is currently 51 years old. So what can make Victor Martinez jump into the Masters Olympia in 2025? Well, first of all, IFBB should put some good money. That will definitely make Victor Martinez to make a comeback. Aside from this, him not winning that Miss Olympia back in 2007, where he 100% deserved to win, and even Jay Cutler agreed that it could have gone either way. So Victor was just so unlucky that he tore his quad in 2008. And then to add to that, he fractured his arm while doing an arms wrestling later that year. Not to mention he went to jail for a few months because of some immigration problems. So all the prime years of Victor, other than 2007, they went horribly wrong. But still you can look at his current physique and tell that he still lives a bodybuilding lifestyle. That, I have to say, is an incredible amount of size to hold on to for a guy who has been retired since 2020. I believe the Arnold 2020, that was his last competition, where he looked really awesome, but the size that was needed to compete in this modern era, that just wasn't there. So Victor looks very healthy, considering that he had a 19 years long professional career. So do you guys want to see Victor Martinez in the Masters Olympia next year? Just cannot ignore this picture, posted by 7 times Miss Olympia Phil Heath, with none other than the greatest of all time, Ronnie Coleman. So the Olympia weekend is such a great time for bodybuilding, and as a fan, we get to see so many legends together under one roof. So Phil and Ronnie are 2 of the greatest bodybuilders of all time that we have seen in the history of bodybuilding. So is there anyone out there who doesn't believe that a prime Ronnie, for instance from 2003 or 1998, he would destroy this year's Olympia lineup? And same goes for Phil Heath's prime as well. Just tell me one name who can beat that 2011 version of Phil Heath. And that's no disrespect to any of these guys who are gonna be competing tomorrow. They are definitely the best of this era. But there is a reason Ronnie won 8 and Phil won 7 consecutive Olympia titles. So massive respect for both of these champions from the past. So Rafael Brandao and Neil Hill posted a physique update less than 20 hours out of this year's Men's Open. So that one hashtag that really surprised me. That was 262 pounds. So Brandao really is bringing a new level of size to this year's Olympia, because keep in mind, he used to compete in the 240s range. So I think he is looking pretty damn good without any pump, and he still has some more time to get in some more carbs, a few more meals before it is game time. So it's gonna be a lot better at the Olympia than what we saw at this year's Arnold. Now the question is that enough size to stand next to Samson Dauda or Andrew Jacked and really hold his own? Well, I don't think so. Rumor is that Samson was weighing 302 pounds last night when he took off his shirt, and Andrew Jacked is even heavier than Samson. But Rafael, I have to say, has a realistic chance of fighting for the top 6 this year, and that will be such a big stepping stone, especially for the upcoming years. So Rafael is about to be that Arnold Ohio version, and that too with a lot of added size. I have to say, if he can bring that same condition, that is gonna be a deadly look. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.